on the road. Obviously, FedEx Field, the biggest in the NFL, seating over 100,000. And you've got young quarterbacks going against each other. Sophomore Andy Dalton and rookie Robert Griffin III. Robert Griffin III has been a sensation this far. 70.9 completion percentage, 526 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dalton has been decent this far. 67.6 completion percentage, 539 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. And then, these two, but neither of these teams are playoff teams. The Redskins aren't a bad team. They could be, I think they'll be 8-8, 9-7. The Cincinnati Bengals could actually, I lied, they could be a playoff team. But, I personally don't see them that way, but they could be. AJ Green's a great receiver. Jarvis Green-Ellis, say what you will about the guy, he's not bad. He's been pretty good this year, in fact. 39 carries, 166 yards, averaging 4.3 yards a carry and 1 touchdown. So, I think that Washington's going to take this one just because of their home field advantage. I think that Robert Griffin III's going to have a good game, and I think it's going to be very exciting. So, I'm going to say Redskins 17, Cincinnati 14. And, I see Washington taking this one. But I see both teams maybe being in contention for a playoff berth come later in the year if they continue playing as well. If Robert Griffin III continues to have the rookie season that he has been having, the sky's the limit for the Redskins. As for Cincinnati, they could be surprisingly good this year. I see a lot of talent on that roster. So it'll be very interesting how these two teams match up later in the year. Obviously, this is the only time they're playing each other this year. But I think we'll look back on this game as a pretty big game for these two teams. So, Washington, like I said, Washington 17, Cincinnati 14. This is In the Pocket. The number, once more, 312-550-3914. Please leave questions in the chat box, and please text or please call the 312-550-3914. I'm going to put the number actually in the comments section, and so that you guys can see it. I don't have to keep repeating myself. And 3914. There we go. It is on the comments section. It's 10:46. We're gonna do one more team. We're gonna do one more game, and then we're gonna go to a commercial break. Our last game before the break, we have the Niners and the Vikings. The Vikings 1-1. Adrian Peterson, obviously coming off of that bad MCL tear, has been great. 33 carries, 144 yards, 4.4 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. And you've got another great runner, Frank Gore, there in San Fran. He's got 33 carries, 201 yards, averaging 6.1 yards a carry, and 2 touchdowns. He has been incredible for the 49ers. I think that the 49ers are a legitimate Super Bowl team. And I think that the 49ers are. I think obviously this is going to be a rout. I think that the 49ers' first 3 games have all been against NFC North teams, and I think that they're going to end up winning all 3 of them. I'm going to keep this short and sweet and to the point. Alex Smith going up against Christian Ponder. I give that battle to Alex Smith because of experience. Frank Gore going up against Adrian Peterson. Let's give it to Frank Gore just because of his stat line being so impressive. And then you've got the receivers, which I think is you've got to give to San Fran as well. Mike Crabtree, and Vernon Davis, both just great receivers. Vernon Davis, obviously a tight end, but and then you've got Minnesota with Percy Harvin, who hasn't been bad, but hasn't been great either. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you've got Minnesota, the best defense in the league, San Francisco, the best defense in the league, and Minnesota, a decent, maybe slightly above average defense. So I think that San Francisco is going to walk all over the Vikings, even though they're playing at the Metrodome. I think that you have to, they're playing in Minnesota. I think that you have to give this one to the 49ers because they're so good. It'll be tough. They're the hardest team in the league to beat, I think. So, I'm going to say 49ers 27, Vikings 7. We're going to take a short commercial break. This is In the Pocket with Daniel Levy. And we are back here on In the Pocket. It is 10:49 a.m. NFL game is going to be kicking off in about an hour and 10 minutes. We're going to go, we've got 6 games left. We're going to have one more commercial break before the end of the show to split them up. Let's go to our first game after the break. We've got the Jets and the Dolphins. The Jets on the road today, and the Dolphins at home. And this is really just a not a fun game. In fact, I'm going to try to keep this matchup as quick as I can because I am bored talking about it already. Because you've got two bad teams playing bad football, and you've also got Tim Tebow on the field, which doesn't help. People are saying that Tim Tebow isn't playing enough. I think he is playing too much. I think that he should be on the bench. Anyway, you've got the Jets, who have Mark Sanchez, who I don't think is good at all. I think that he doesn't, his stats aren't terrible. 53.7 completion percentage, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. And we have our first caller. We've got Jason Gerline on the phone. Hello, Jason. You are on In the Pocket. What do you have to say for me?
I have some questions regarding the AFC South. Could you answer them?
Sure. Shoot.
Alright. Is there anyone else in the division besides the Texans that can actually win the division?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
Is there anyone besides the Houston Texans that should win the AFC South?
Absolutely not. Let's take a look at the AFC South. You've got Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Tennessee. And, no, you've got 3 teams in Indy, Jacksonville, and Tennessee that are, Indianapolis 1-1 so far. They're not terrible, but they're obviously in a rebuilding year. And, Jacksonville and Tennessee, I think neither of them are playoff caliber. What do you think, Jason?
Well, I can't really say that much because I love the Houston Texans. I don't want to feel biased, but I'm pretty sure the Texans have that division under control. I think they even have the opportunity. They have the opportunity to go 6-0 against the divisional opponent.
Yeah. Oh, I think that they'll definitely go 6-0 in their division. And, I mean, you just have to look at the roster that the Texans have. It's just unbeatable. Just their offense is really, it's insane. You've got you've got a legit quarterback in Matt Schaub. You've got Arian Foster, quite possibly the best back in the league, and Andre Johnson, quite possibly one of the best receivers in the league. So I don't think that there is any team that can, in that division that can compete.
Alright, one last question. How about Justin Blackman? Do you think he's going to start breaking out?
How about who?
Justin Blackman?
Right, yeah. He's... What about him?
I'm asking, do you think he's going to break out? Do you think he's going to star in Jacksonville? He could be decent. I don't know if he'll be a star.
I think he'll be, I think he'll be your everyday, maybe a number 2 receiver. He could be a legitimate number 1 at some point in his career, but, I don't see him, being that great. Out of Oklahoma State, he was picked 5th overall, so obviously you can't count him out. But I think he'll be good. He's got a good skill set. But I'm not sure. What do you think about him?
That sounds good. Thank you for answering my questions.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for calling. If you have any more questions, Jason, please feel free to call. And I hope you're enjoying the show.
Thanks. I like it.
All right. I'm gonna let you go, but if you have any more questions, please chime in at any time.
All right.
Bye. Okay. So I'm sort of losing my train of thought a little bit. We were talking about the Miami-New York game, and I see the Jets taking it simply because it's you've got 2 bad teams, and the Jets are the better of the bad. But I think that the Jets are going to take it. Let's say 20 to 10. 20 to 10. That sounds good. I think that the Jets are going to take this one 20 to 10, but I think it's going to be an ugly game on both sides of the football for both teams. And let's move on to Jacksonville and Indianapolis. Another not so entertaining game. You've got Indianapolis at home for the second time this year. The Jaguars on the road for the second time this year. Neither team jumping out at me as a playoff team. Obviously, you've got Blaine Gabbert for Jacksonville and Andrew Luck for Indy. Andrew Luck has been okay. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 533 yards, 56.6 completion percentage. And Blaine Gabbert has had 51.7 completion percentage, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. That the 0 interceptions is surprising. Blaine Gabbert hasn't been as bad as I had thought for Jacksonville. And then you've got obviously the star Maurice Jones-Drew running the ball for Jacksonville so far. In his 31 carries, he has had 137 yards and 4.4 yards per carry. No touchdowns though for MJD. And then Indy has Donald Brown running the football. He has not been great. 25 carries, only 93 yards, 1 touchdown, 3.7 yards per carry. And then receivers, no receiver really jumps out at me there. Obviously, I don't see much talent there. I see Indianapolis coming out on top of this one because they are home and because Andrew Luck wants to play. And I think that Indy's going to take this one, let's say 13-6. 13-6. And I don't think that's going to be the most entertaining game. I'd go to the Fox game if I had to choose between Jacksonville and Indianapolis or one of the NFC matchups that's going to be on Fox this afternoon. So we're going to take one more short commercial break, and then we'll be back to answer your calls and comments, and we'll be previewing some more games. And actually, I'm sorry, I forgot to do the Lions and Titans game before the break, so let's do that one really fast. You've got the Lions, who I think are a playoff team, probably, if Matt Stafford can pick up the pace a little bit. and you've got Jake Locker, the youngster, and the Titans, who aren't a playoff team.